Hello, race fans, and welcome to week 9 of the CTC Cup Series. This week we're at Kansas Speedway. Qualifying underway right now. As always, Andrew Griesbaum on screen. Tonight we got a nice cool night here at Kansas Speedway. 80 degrees, cloudy conditions, low wind. Beautiful night for racing. And I'm super excited for it. These Gen 4 cars are an absolute blast here at Kansas. And it's going to be interesting to see. We got just over 20 cars, I think, going to be starting this race tonight. So, see what qualifying looks like right now. That's incorrect. Apologies. Haven't had to do that in a while. Alrighty, Scrumetta on the top of the board right now with a 30.7. Griesbaum going to come across the line for his second lap. Cutting the apron right there. Looks like the lap's not going to count. So that 30.8 is going to 30.85 is going to stay in for him. Thomas Dilg jumps to the top of the board, and then quickly jumped by Tanner Nowell, who puts down a 30.58. See who else we got out here running laps. Jake Vainowski completing his second lap right now. And a 30.96 for the 48. Giglio, last week's winner at Richmond, gonna start his qualifying laps. On that top lane in turns 1 and 2. Like that car is really gripped up for Giglio right now. Good run off turn 2. On the top once again in 3 and 4. And gonna come across the line and complete his first lap. See what he does. 30.46 top of the board first lap for Giglio. We'll see if he can improve on it on the second. Really loose, middle of 1 and 2 right there. Had to get out of the gas. His first lap's going to be the fastest. Quinn Newton, 30.83, going to be his fastest lap. John Neckrich completing his second lap right now. He'll go with 30.83. Mike Christopher, first lap, 30.7. And lap number 2 for Christopher. 30.64, improves on his first lap, but not too much. He'll stay in 4th. Randy Lee, 30.91. See if we got anybody else heading out on track. Looks like Cliff Mullen's going to start his qualifying effort. Don't think he's got time for it, though. 20 seconds left in practice, so I think that's going to do it. 15 drivers putting in a qualifying lap. Then we have 6 more who will not put down a qualifying lap. They will start in the back. Alrighty. Drivers head down on track, getting in their grid position. We'll get ready to get this race underway. 122 laps tonight here at Kansas, so it should be a good time. I think that's a little bit longer than what we've seen so far at the 1.5 miles this season, and probably I'd say 40-50 miles longer than any of the races we saw last season, season 5. So gonna be a kind of a new experience for these guys tonight. See, looking back, we ran 113 laps at Atlanta, and I think that was the last 1.5 miles on the schedule. Then Rockingham was 107. It's a mile long, so by far, I think, the longest race these guys will have other than the super speedways so far this season. But let's head down to the track and go through our starting grid. I have to take a quick break. Sorry about that. Go through our starting grid for tonight's race. Blake Giglio starting on the pole tonight, 30.46 for Blake. Really good lap starting next to him. Tanner Nowell on that outside pole. Yeah, and then Thomas Dilg saw him in practice real fast, had the fastest time in practice. So gonna be looking for that 53 to be fast tonight. Michael Christopher, call him Mike and a half because it's just always good on mile and a halves. But we'll look for him to be pretty good here tonight at Kansas Speedway. Travis Scrimmetta going to start in 5th tonight alongside Nick Leo in that 6th position. 7th place tonight going to be Brian Martin in the 54 alongside his teammate Davis Greenlaw in the 34. Jason Tamer going to start 9th tonight alongside John Neckrich in the 10th position. Quinn Newton going to start 11th tonight, Andrew Griesbaum in 12th. Beyond that, we have Jeff Price starting 13th tonight alongside Randy Lee in 14th. Jake Kwiatkowski going to start 15th tonight, Nathan Scott 16th. Cliff Mullins going to start 17th in that 37. Dave Hoytsma coming out that win at Talladega. Going to start at 18th tonight. Daniel Llewellyn going to start in 19th alongside Lucky Karlek in the 20th position. And our final driver tonight, Matt Town, going to start in 21st. Alrighty. So it looks like Daniel Llewellyn going to start from the pits tonight. So that'll move the final row up one. Alrighty. Oh, I can wait for this race to get underway. Kansas is definitely one of the better mile and a halves in these cars. I don't think there's really a bad track in these cars per se, but I mean, I think it's a little bit better than Vegas. So. While Atlanta was a good race, I think Kansas is a lot better. But here we go. We're going to come to the green flag this time by. Pace car is going to pull off and get ready to get this thing going. Alrighty, green flag in the hand of Barney. And green flag is waving. We're green at Kansas. Week number 9 here in the CTC Cup Series. Oh, Tanner Nowell gets in the wall right off the start. Able to get out of it, recovers. Still in second there for Nowell. 3 wide just behind him for 4th. Mike Chris moves up right in front of the 69 and now side by side with Travis Scrimmetta. Giglio out to 6/10 of a second lead already. So we complete lap number 1. A few drivers going down to that apron, but a lot of them electing to stay off of it. I think they're just going to kind of try to save tires here tonight. These drivers can make it around 45 laps. On a tank, it looks like we had a wreck in the back. 66 involved, 00 as well. Those two will both have heavy damage. And not too sure what happened to them. Try to find it here for you. Right here. I think this is right at the start of the race. The 66 caught the outside wall, and 00 trying to avoid him also caught the outside wall. So those two both heavy damage right off the start of this race. No caution for it though. You can see Brandon Lee on the apron probably heading to pit road. So unfortunate start to the night for that 00. Same with John Neckrich. Back out on track, took the fast repair, but a few laps down. Back up to the lead pack, side by side for third down. Nick Leo on the inside of Thomas Dill. Bill side by side. Mike Christopher now to the inside of the 69. See a lot of drivers around the bottom in 3 and 4. We'll be looking at a lot of multi-groove racing, I think, tonight. The top lane's definitely going to have a slight advantage, though, in terms of short run. But you really don't want to stay up there too long. It's going to definitely help burn your tires a little more than just running the bottom. And you can see most of the field look off to rear bumper of Giglio. We'll probably see a decent majority of the field around the bottom right here. A few stragglers electing to run that top. See Jeff Price, I think that is, Quinn Newton, and Nick Leo. We saw the leader, Blake Giglio, ran the top, turns 1 and 2, so kind of jumping around here almost like a dirt race, that multi-group racing. You'll see these drivers, Giglio runs the top again, and he gets the wall on the exit of turn 4. Oh, Giglio is wrecking off turn 4. Heavy right side damage for that 16. He's going to fall all the way to the back. We'll see if these drivers can avoid him. Somebody was way out of shape trying to get by him. Not sure what car that was. I think that was the 54, Brian Martin. Looks like everybody gets it back going. Giglio, he's going to be out of it for the moment. But that puts Tanner Nowell now into the lead with his teammate Mike Christopher. So that was a NGC top 3 there for a moment until Giglio wrecked. See these drivers just kind of all over the place in the exit of turn 4. I think if the car is getting really upset for him. Oh, I think that's Dick Leo up in the wall. Holds it up there. Did a good job not getting in another wreck in the meantime, so he's going to fall back right there with Giglio. Those two both getting in the wall at different points on the track. So that puts the top 3 to Nowell, Christopher, and Dilg. See if Mike Christopher tries to make a move on his teammate here for the lead. He's running that top lane. And just about gets to the outside of the 12, has to give a lift there. And now we're going to try the bottom on that number 12. These two are teammates, I just want to say that again. So You know, you'd expect them not to race each other too hard here, but it is for the lead, and you know, if you can lead a lap, you get those 5 extra bonus points, plus leading the most gets you another 5, so it is pretty important to get that lead at least for a lap. Oh, 22, a little out of shape off turn 2 right there. Jeff Price to the inside of the 37, now down to that apron. Just like last week at Richmond, another night race this season. Until these past 2 weeks, we hadn't seen nighttime conditions. So I think it's been a little bit of a wake-up call with how much grip there is in that cooler condition, but at the same time, with a lot of grip comes, I think, some more tire wear, to be honest. You know, you kind of give the car a little more than it can take, and wow, Jeff Price really rode the wall right there. That was impressive. He was about 5 inches off that outside wall of the entire corner. Now it looks like Scrumetta gonna get by Mike Christopher as well. He's gonna move up into third along with Thomas Dilligan second. So Mike Christopher kind of falling down the running order for the moment. But Tanner Nowell still holding on to that lead, about 0.6 of a second in front of the 53. No caution yet this race. Scrumetta now makes the move in the 53, and he'll get by him. Now up into second for Travis Scrumetta. All top 4 going out of the apron that time. And that, you know, that can seem so inviting. You do gain time for that second. You gain a little bit of time on the people around you, but it is so costly in those tires to go down to that apron. There's no banking. And it'll just chew that right front up. So these drivers got to be careful. They can't use it every lap. That will overheat your tires to an unnecessary amount, and you'll be struggling later in the race. So they have to be careful. Tanner now, I think, caught the wall a little bit off turn 4. And he is losing that lead fast. Travis Scrumetta is reeling him in and carrying the 53 and the 22 with him. Super loose for the 12 right there. Big run for the 77. Goes down to the apron. And like I was saying at the start of the race, about 40 to 45 laps on a tank of fuel, I think. So approaching halfway in this run realistically. Should be a pretty straightforward race in terms of strategy right now. They're probably going to want to pit around lap 40 and then lap 80, split it into 2 stops. Scrumetta almost able to clear right there. I think he did lead the lap. Nowell and the wall are going to fall all the way back to 4th. Now Jason Tamer going to get by the number 12. Quinn Newton also going to make the move on the 12 with Tanner Nowell. Tanner's in the wall again. So from the lead now, kind of struggling right here. I think he overheated those right side tires just a little bit and going to have to try to cool him down if he wants to get back in this thing. But Travis Scrumetta in the lead for the first time tonight. We'll see if he can hold on to it. Remember, like I said just a few moments ago, we were only halfway through this fuel run, so if we expect this to go green to the end of the race, or at least to the end of this stint, these guys still have to be careful with their tires right now. I can't be overheating it too bad. No, Scrimetta's actually pulling away from the 22 and 53, so I don't wonder if these two kind of burnt their tires off as well, trying to stay with them. So, other than the incident on lap 1, I think we've been relatively wreck-free. I mean, I say relatively, we have been wreck-free, contact-free since pretty early on in this race. My data's telling me there hasn't even been contact between cars since 3 minutes into the race, so we're now approaching 12 minutes. Still green. So we're gonna check up on our guys in the back who had those issues. Giglio still hurting with that right side damage. Definitely hurting the aero on that car. About 8 seconds behind our leader, and then we got Nick Leo. He also got in the wall earlier, but did not get enough as much damage as Giglio, or even any damage. I'm not seeing anything on the right side, so he's holding on about 5 seconds behind the leader and 14th, but Giglio on the struggle bus right now. He's hoping for a caution at some point soon. But I don't think he's too worried. He does have 2 wins this season, so I'm sure if it comes down to it, he'll probably just call it a night and head back home. You can see Scrimmetta, even 7/10 of a second lead on the rest of the field. He is down there on that apron, and it actually cost him that time. He got super tight and almost hit that outside wall. Christopher Thomas Dilg still battling for second. We got Tamer Newton 4th and 5th. Nathan Scott up there in 6th right now. Cliff Mullins up 10 spots from where he started. So the 21 and the 37 both up 10 spots from where they started. So pretty much back to front for these two right now. Oh, Brian Martin in the wall. So that's, I think, the third person now we've seen go to the back, getting in the wall. But once again, I don't think he got too much right side damage from that, along with the 69. So kind of getting out of that lucky. And you see, just we're talking about that, somebody who did not get lucky when they got in the wall. The 16 car, he is struggling. And I think what we're seeing right there, with that right side damage, he's lost all of his side force. And when I say side force, I mean, when these cars are in a turn, that's why they're shaped so weird. When they're in a turn and they're sliding like that, you just have the air pushing on the right side, keeping it in line. And when you damage the car like that, you lose the side force. Tanner Nowell, he's having an issue. Andrew Griesbaum as well, he's got heavy right front damage. Let's see what happened with Griesbaum. Oh, hooked with the 48 on the backstretch. One more look at it from the front. You can see, I don't know if the 48 was off the wall or the 68 came up on him, but almost a huge wreck. Somehow no caution. That puts the 68 toward the back. 48, I'm sure, has some damage as well. Yeah, a little bit of front end damage for that 48, both sides of that front end. Back toward the front, Scrimmetta, 2.5 lead. Mike Christopher is really falling off right now. Same with the 53. Looks like Jason Tamer gonna get by both of those guys. And slide right up in front of the 22 and moves up into second place. Gotta call out he's pitting right now, so he's gonna split it into 3 stops. So that tells me right there he's gonna pit 30, 60, and 90, and that should put about 30 laps on each stop. But that's surprising to me, because I think you can cut a stop out if you go that far, all the way up to lap 40. But he must have thought he can't get there. Same with Jason Tamer now coming down pit road, so maybe they're making less laps on fuel than I thought. Brian Martin calling out he's pitting. Dave Hoytsma came down pit road as well. So that'll put Mike Christopher now in the lead. He's going to lead his first lap of the night, get that 5 bonus points. And we're going to see that as well. We're going to see some drivers trying to stay out. They're going to try to get their lap led. And that's going to play into the strategy as well. We've seen the late pit work out for several drivers this season. We have a lot of strategy going on this stop, on this cycle. Griesbaum coming down. Brian Martin, we heard him call it out. Like Daniel Llewellyn come down pit road. Watch Tamer come off pit road right here. Back to where our leader is. Tamer about a lap and a half down right now. Losing a lap and a half on a pit stop, that's a decent amount of time. You're gonna have to hope that a caution doesn't come out right now, because you're in a deep hole. But left side of the screen, we're gonna look at last lap times. Tamer down there in 14th right now. We're gonna see when he comes across the line next time. We're gonna see what his lap time is. He's gonna be on fresh tires. Scrumetta as well, he also took tires, so Scrumetta ran a 31.44. Look at the times the leaders are running, 33 flat. That is very slow compared to the people with fresh tires, and they're only going to get faster for the next few laps. Scrumetta to come across the line again. Ran a 31.4 again. Tamer ran a 31.5, so a second and a half slower per lap are the leaders. Thomas Dill gets by, he's going to lead a lap tonight. So I think these drivers that are all staying out right now, they're all waiting until lap 40 or later. They're going to go for that 2-stop strategy. So we're seeing a bit of a difference right now. Scrumetta, Tamer, Hoytsma, Griesbaum, Brian Martin, Tanner Nell, Daniel Llewellyn, they all pit around lap 30. So that means they're going for a 3-stop. And everybody else who had stayed out right now, they're kind of jumping that gap. They're going to go all the way to 40. And as we progress through this race, the gap between those drivers is going to increase. And everybody who stayed out right now, they're going to end up cutting a pit stop out. So they're going to save roughly 45 seconds worth of pitting and track times. So the people that pit on lap 30, they're trying to do the math in their head right now. They must have done the math already since that pit, and they figure they can make that time up when they're out on track. So it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. John Neckrich coming on pit road now. Remember, he had that issue right on the start of this race. So he's been out there kind of struggling, hoping for a caution this whole time. He's going to come down now. Scrumetta just about to get his lap back. He goes by the 22 and got to get by the 53 to get back on the lead lap. Now these drivers all have 4 extra sets of tires tonight, so realistically 3-stop strategy will work and you'll still have an extra set. Really not a worry from a tire standpoint there. Just don't want to get trapped a lap down, and now Scrumetta has avoided that situation. He's back in the lead lap, so he's kind of breathing a sigh of relief. But Tamer, who was second in line, when they came down pit road. He's still about 10 seconds, I'd say, maybe 5 or 6 behind the leaders. So he's trying to get up there as well. He wants to get in that lead lap again, but he is in the lucky dog position for the time being. So I'm sure he's not too worried about it. Jeff Price, we saw come down pit road, but spun back onto the track and brings the caution out. Jeff Price. Oh man, so he was trying to come down pit road. He was on that 2-stop strategy and brought the caution out. That is inevitably going to screw a lot of these 3-stop strategy people. So look back at what happened. I see him come down pit road right here. You know, get it slowed down. Gets onto the apron transition, and the car just goes straight back up the track. Almost drives into the 23, but luckily was out of the racing line. Everybody able to avoid him. We'll look on board with the 23 on this. Well, Jeff Price and that red 14 up there going to come down pit road. Watch just how close this is. Oh, man. All right, one more time on board with the 14. Oof. So I think, relatively speaking, for most people involved, that was a lucky break. But I'm sure the people that are stuck a lap down right now are not thinking that. But all these guys that stayed out, looking like geniuses right now. They saved a set of tires. They got track position. So that's the caution Giglio needed. A few other drivers that got in the wall needed. So lucky break for a lot of people, not so much for others. Ooh, good battle off pit road right there. Not sure who got it between Newton and Dilg. Looks like Quinn Newton going to win the race off pit road, so that's going to put him in the lead. You can see the rest of these guys gonna be looking for a wave around right here. Hamer got the lucky dog, but that's gonna put him behind everybody. So these guys get their wave arounds. watch as the wave rounds come back around and join the tail end of the lead lap cars. Apologize, I'm stumbling over my words a little bit tonight, but that's just part of it if you watch this channel. Here we go. Green flag back in the hand after our first caution of the night. Through the restart zone, green flag out once again here at Kansas. Quinn Newton leads us to the stripe this time. Newton really upset in that top lane. He tried to run the outside to get a good run, and now Mike Christopher able to close in on him. Oh, the 22 really wide off that corner. I thought he was going to tag the wall, but able to keep it straight. Mike Christopher to the bottom of the 88. Down through 3 and 4, side by side for the lead. Mike Christopher with a good run on the bottom. We'll see if he clears on exit. He does. Mike Christopher cycling to the lead once again tonight. Now side by side for second. Newton on the outside. Leo on the inside. Blake Giglio, after pretty much hitting the wall and wrecking himself out of the lead, he's making his way back up toward the front and is 5th right now. Trying to work that bottom lane. Now Nick Leo clears in a second, gonna set his eyes on that 22. Now 3 wide for 3rd place. Giglio in the middle, Newton on the bottom, Nathan Scott on the outside. Giglio gonna barely clear. Now to the low side, fighting for 3rd. Heck of a charge from that 16 off that restart. Now side by side for the lead. Leo charges in front to the lead for the first time tonight. The 69 of Nick Leo. Gonna get those 5 bonus points, lead this lap. Will complete lap number 50. Giglio does clear up in the 3rd. Quinn looking to the outside in 1 and 2. Trying to make a move on that 21 for 4th. He finds himself side by side with Travis Skrmetta. Skrmetta we saw leading earlier in this race. He kind of got cycled to the back in that pit stop strategy. But luckily, like we were talking about under green earlier, Skrmetta was able to make his way back on the lead lap. So even though he didn't have to waste a set of tires, he's not a lap down. He's back on the lead lap. Got even tires to everybody. He's just got to make his way back into the front again. Leo, we saw earlier, him and Mike Christopher both pushed it really hard at the start of the last green flag run. And by the end of it, they were both really struggling, starting to fall back. We'll see if that same fate falls upon them again. It seems like they're pushing it pretty hard. They're gaining a bit of a lead on the rest of the field, so I don't know. If I were them in this situation, they know they're probably going to have to go 35, 40 laps once again. I think I'd be saving my tires a little bit if I were in their situation, but well, I'm up here, I'm not on the racetrack. I don't know how it is for them. Like Matt Town may have had an issue. He's got some right side damage. See what happened to him. So off turn 4. Oh, catches the wall just like Giglio did and spins down to the infield. Good save though. Does not involve anybody else. So we see some drivers who, I mean, especially last week we saw Matt Town running up front. Kind of struggling here with Kansas. Bit of a different animal than they're used to this season. I know in practice, building the setup for this race, it really wanted to step out on exit, and that was one of the quirky things about this track, I think. No matter what seems to be done to the setup or the car, it just wanted to step out. I think just the sheer power kind of just wanted it to go wherever it wanted, so that's something these guys are all struggling with tonight. Look at our weather on the right side of the screen. Our track temp is all the way down to 83, so that track is cool out there, giving these guys a ton of grip. A little bit lower than when we started this race even. Mike Christopher tried to get by the 69 in the bottom, but to no avail so far. Now Scrivetto finds himself in 4th. Top 4 have all led a lap at some point in this race. All under different circumstances. Now Mike Chris under attack from the 16 of Blake Giglio. Giglio going to get around him. Those two teammates. So maybe a little bit of mercy there from the 22, just letting the 16 go. Ooh, Quinn Newton. Looks like had a little bit of an issue off turn 2 right there, but looks okay in that 88. Nick Leo still running that top lane in both ends of the track. I just have to wonder what that's doing to his tires right now. Only about 15 laps into this run. Probably going to have to go another 20. At the very least. Randy Lee takes it on the pit road. Looks like he's possibly taking it to the garage. I don't see the tires going up on that 00. Giglio making the move to the inside of the 69. Nick Leo able to hold him off for now. Gonna have to fight on that outside once again into turn 1. Now the top lane much better than the bottom in 1 and 2. Same can't be said in 3 and 4 though. I'd say the bottom is just a hair better. '69 really loose, exiting 4 right there. I think the rear tire is starting to go for Nick Leo, and that allows Blake Giglio to just about clear. Probably see a slide job here from Blake Giglio, and he does. Slides up to the top, gonna block that top lane off from the 69. And now the 22 to the inside, not going to allow the crossover to happen. So those two teammates working that beautifully. Now the 22 going to try to get by the 69. He'll clear off turn 4. Now the 69 to the bottom lane, going to try to cross the 22 over. Good run down the front stretch. Looks like a slide job going to be an option here. Not going to take it though, going to run that bottom lane. I think it would have cost him more than it would have helped him to throw a slider there, so good decision from Nick Leo. Can file into third place. And now Blake Giglio, Mike Christopher 1-2. Now Skrmeta side by side with 69 as well. Good battling going on. All the way through the top 10. Look a little bit farther back. See Cliff Mullins in 8th right there, leading a bit of a second pack. I don't want to call it a pack. This is not pack racing. There's just a bit of a stack up here at the front. I'm not sure why this is happening. We've seen a lot of single file racing this race, and all of a sudden we're double file through the top 7. Now it looks like they're kind of figuring it out. Quinn Newton can get by the 69 as well. Same with Travis Skrmeta. Newton once again loose off turn 2. And that allows the 69 to get back by him. And now Travis Skrmeta looking to the inside of the 22. So this run working out about the same as the first one. We saw Christopher, Leo, Giglio all have tons of speed at the start. And then we saw the 22 and the 69 gradually fall off and the 77 surge toward the front. Now I think the reason the 77 was able to take the lead so easily last time was because the 16 got in the wall and was pretty much taken out of the race. But now Giglio's up there and the 77 is going to have to run him down at some point during this run. They still have probably 10-15 laps left. But kind of running out of time. Giglio's starting to pull away from the rest of these drivers. Oh, Leo real out of shape off turn 2. Somehow saves that car. Let's take a look at that. On board with Quinn Newton right there. You saw the 69 come way off the wall. Lucky to not hit anything right there. Like a battle for 14th right here. Dave Hoisman to the inside of the 48. Oh, Brian Martin had an issue. But back there at 18th, we saw he had a ton of speed to start this race, so that right side damage once again taking somebody out of it. Tanner now first come down pit road on this cycle. 52 laps to go, so I think that's pretty early considering what we saw earlier. I don't even think he's good on fuel yet, but I think he was pretty much forced to come down pit road right there. It's been, oh yeah, about 38 laps since he's pit at this point, so he had to take a wave round on that last stop, on that last caution. Wasn't able to come down for fuel or tires, and now going to be off cycle in danger of going probably a lap down using an extra pit stop if we don't get another caution. Brian Martin, oh, had an issue getting on pit road, but looks like he gets down there. That front end is destroyed. Quinn Newton looking to get by Mike Christopher now. Newton's got a ton of speed tonight. I think he's doing a good job of saving those tires. We've seen him prosper on these long runs. Jason Tamer really out of shape as well. I mean, I feel like I'm saying that a lot. I think everybody's out of shape off these corners. Somebody possibly coming up pit road. Sorry. No, I just saw a car down there. I didn't know if they were coming up pit road or not. So it looks like toward the end of these runs, these guys are really struggling with that rear end grip. That was something we saw in practice. Just these cars, if you're too heavy on the throttle at the start of the run, you're going to overheat your rear tires, and you're going to be struggling, no doubt, at the end of a run. Matt Town, looks like maybe got in the wall a little bit. Allows left car like to get by him. With Mullins, he has got a little bit of right front damage. I think most of the cars in the field have got in the wall at some point or another. I don't want to speak for everybody, but we've seen a lot of people get in the wall tonight. Breezebomb taking it down pit road. And I think that's right on the edge of the fuel window. About 45 laps to go.
Heading.
But some of these guys are surprising me how far they are stretching it. Travis Cometa takes it down pit road. That's pretty surprising. That's a bit of a short pit, I think. Because he pit on lap 42, so that's only 36 laps. And he's got just under 45 left. But, I don't know, maybe looking for some track position, maybe hoping for a caution at some point, but we have definitely not seen the short pits work out so far this season. And even in this race, we saw some guys come down, try to make it a 3-stop race, and the caution came out and trapped them a lap down. Sounds like Dave Voigtsma going to come down pit road this time. No surprises there. He pit on lap 32. So really stretched that tank. John Neckrich also on pit road. Daniel Llewellyn also coming on pit road again. No surprises. Pit on lap 32. So these drivers, they can make it a bit farther on a tank than I originally thought.
Bidding.
Hamer coming down pit road. Go on board with his stop. Like a good entry there for Tamer. Probably going to see some of these top 10 peeling off for pit road very soon. So we take 40 to go at the stripe. Here on the radio, Mike Christopher going to come down pit road this time. Here he comes. So good entry there for Christopher. Nick Leo down pit road as well, alongside Jeff Price. Somebody just blew up on pit road. I think that was Randy Lees. Bayanowski down pit road. So that brings the question, when do some of these front runners come down with them? Giglio still electing to stay out on track. Oh, caution out again when some of these guys came down pit road.
Hello, Dave. Sorry, man. I don't know what you were doing. I tried to get out of your way, and then you tried going
Looks
down.
like Carl Leck.
How are you guys? Seriously.
Looks like it's going to be the 87, a lucky Carl Leck. So off turn 2, big run from the 54. The 87, I think, went down to get out of the way, but you know, I think what everybody always says is you hold your line if you're off the pace. You're unlucky, he had little tires.
Yeah, me too.
And just, I don't know, looking at his mirror too much right there, and came down right in front of the 54.
The right pedal down.
And, you know, it's an innocent spin. Nobody really got any damage from it, but that's going to bring a caution out and trap a ton of people a lap down once again. Alright, and when I say a ton, there's only 5 cars on the lead lap.
Jeez, scared me.
And here comes everybody down pit road who can. The rest of them going to have to take a wave around.
In my pit box with 0.03 of a lead.
Like Giglio going to win the race off pit road, followed by Quinn Newton, Thomas Dilg. I think Newton.
Like, why is it telling us the
No, okay. Giglio was the leader coming to pit road, so he kills onto the lead. And that's going to be it for pit stops for this caution, really. Matt Town coming down this time. Looks like he was able to hold on to the lead lap.
Me too.
I don't understand.
I came off pit road 9th, and I'm gonna be back 17th. I don't know. Stupid. Yeah, I'm so confused why they get tracked.
Now, Lucky Carlack, he was the cause of the caution. Gonna come down, hold on to the lead lap. Oh no, actually, he was in a wave around position, so he'll actually go down right there. That was, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what that was. Thought we just lost the broadcast right there. That was a scary moment. I think we're still live, right?
So I wasn't listening. I just stay where I am.
Pretty sure.
My bad. I don't know if I fucked up heading in and not realizing
Hang on,
it
we're
was
not going green. Not going green.
Was it when I hit that triggered that or what happened?
Alrighty, so gonna get all 15 of these wave rounds back around to the front of the field.
Where's pit start? Front stretch. Front stretch. Out of four. Thank you. Wish every league did this so everybody's not at such a disadvantage.
Yeah, imagine if that other league had done this.
They would have wrecked. Somebody would have come flying up right out of hell, taking Superman, going through the middle of everybody. It's still probably going to happen here, but not in that.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to work stuff out on the race control side, but we're good now. And gonna go green this time by. Gonna go green with exactly 30 laps to go in this race. Still a pretty long run in these cars, so I don't think we're gonna see any crazy short run tactics. Not gonna have to save nearly as much as they were, but still can't go absolutely abusing those tires on the start. Here we go. Most of the field single file, but here we go, getting back to the restart zone. Green flag out once again. few droners stepping on a line there. Other than that, looks like a clean restart. Looks like Dilg and Newton side by side for second once again. So most of the field, I think, is going to spread out pretty quickly there. We got a lot of drivers on over tires because they had to take the wave around. I think the oldest fitter is going to be the 54, pit on lap 70, so he's on 25 lap old tires. Just trying to hold on right here. Also have Tanner now pit on lap 69, so he's also on really old tires. Bring up our pit stops. See, top 6 right there, pretty much on the same strategy. They all pit on that caution. And beyond that, everybody's all over the place in terms of strategy. Some drivers on 20-something lap old tires, some drivers on 10 lap old tires. And Vainoski coming down pit road, him and Brian Martin both got a meatball flag right there. So they must have had a pretty big incident. Try to see if I can find what happened between those two. It's gonna be around here. Oh, the 68 got in the wall. The 54 tried to avoid him, and those two hard in the outside wall. Let's look at the 68 once again. See how he got in that outside wall. Hopefully nothing goes on. We are still under green right now. So yeah, the 68 got in the wall right there. Just trying desperately to pull it off the wall. Finally on exit 54. Wasn't ready for that. And well, those three are going to have to come down pit road and probably fix their car. The 68 actually still out on track, got the least amount of damage. We are fully under nighttime conditions down here in Kansas. Looks like a bit of a battle going on between Tamer, Leo, and Christopher, but Tamer way out of shape on the backstretch. See if he can get back on track. There he goes. tagged the outside wall, tried to pull it off, and the car stepped way out on him. But it's going to drop him behind Christopher for the moment. Now trying to battle back. That moves Leo up in the 7th. Matt Town up 15 spots from his qualifying position. So I think if math does me right, that means he started last. An impressive effort from that 98, especially after getting in some incidents during the race and now finding himself knocking on the door of top 5. Davis Greenwald, Will Travis Scametta, Thomas Dill, Quinn Newton, and Giglio. Top 4 a little bit different than we've seen in the previous parts of this race, but one part that's remained the same, Giglio out in the lead. And with 18 laps to go, we're going to go to a crank it up here at Kansas. And we're back from the crank it up. Giglio still out front. Delgan Scrumetta looks like we're battling just for a little bit there, but main battle on track right now has been Leo and Tamer for 9th place. Looks like Nick Leo able to get around Tamer now. Use that outside line. 12 laps to go here at Kansas. Giglio with almost a 2-second lead on the 88. Looking to make This win number 3 and the second win in a row for Giglio if he can get it done. Nick Leo looks like knocking on the back door of Jeff Price, trying to make a move for 8th place. But this field really spread out right now. Like I expected, a lot of people on older tires, a lot of people on fresh tires from that caution, and especially since they started pretty much single file through the entire field, it made for a pretty straightforward restart, and not too much went on after that. But you know, that's typical Kansas. It gives you some good side-by-side racing, and sometimes it just spreads out like this with not much happening. Now 2.5 seconds between first and second, but it looks like battle for second actually heating up. Thomas Dilg gaining some ground on that 88. Now Nick Leo moves up into 8th, gets by Jeff Price. With Mullins, Dave Hoytsma also in a pretty close battle. Battle for second, heating up. 6 to go. Newton trying desperately to keep that 53 behind him. Now 4 laps to go at the line. Thomas Dilg to the inside of Quinn Newton. See if he can complete this pass. Doesn't throw the slide job yet. He's going to try to hold that bottom. Bottom does not work very well in 1 and 2 though, so that allows the 88 to get a big run off the corner and probably clear back into second place for the moment. Now the 53 trying the bottom again. Actually slid up to the middle a little bit, so he's going to lose a lot of time right there. Going to have to reattempt this if he can get back up to the 88. Now 3 laps to go. Giglio 3 seconds ahead of these two now. I think that was the last attempt for the 53 to get by that 88. Hoytsma and Mullins in a battle for 11th. See Llewellyn behind them as well, but he is 2 laps down. Or, I'm sorry, 1 lap down to 14th. 2 laps to go. Giglio. Next time by, he'll take the white flag. Off turn 4, Blake Giglio going to take the white flag in tonight's race. It will be official. Oh, he tags the wall in turn 1. Luckily, he's able to pull it off the wall. And that's clearly hurt his side force a little bit. He's real loose through 1 and 2. Now Vainoski kind of getting in the way of these second and third drivers. See if that opens the door for the 53 to make a move in the 88. Giglio gonna take home the win tonight. Newton inside, Dilg on the outside. Newton gonna hold on to second place. Blake Giglio gets the win here tonight at Kansas. And the rest of the drivers are gonna come across the line. Get a word with Blake Giglio. He's got to say about the race tonight. Then we'll bring in Thomas Dill, third place. Not sure why my overlay is showing Cliff Mullins finish second, so we'll ignore that. All right. Hey, Thomas, Lucas, got me?
Yes, sir.
Well, man, he showed a ton of speed tonight, running up in the top 5, top 3 all night, and well, he took it home third here. Had a good battle there with the 88 there at the end. What was the race like for you, and how was that battle going at the end?
Yeah, honestly, 88 and 16. I mean, of course, Blake's just so quick, but Quinn, like the whole night, it was just me versus him. He was always getting loose off the corner. I was trying to save my tires a bunch. I was finally able to catch him, but sadly, I pushed it too hard towards the end and burned my tires.
Yeah, we saw that playing a factor all night. What did it kind of take to save tires? Was it more the rear end that would step out, or maybe the right front? What was the deal with the tire saving?
Yeah, so it was really just keeping the rear end from stepping out. And trying to keep it like on the bottom or mid groove. There's a little line there, and just trying to keep the rear tires on that without going over, because that would get you really loose.
For sure, man. Well, you seemed on top of it tonight. Got yourself third place. Ran up front. I saw some of your teammates up there with you as well. Did it kind of feel good to have teammates up there and you running good?
Oh yeah.
Playoff situation as well. What are you looking at for next week? We're at, I should know this, I always forget, we are at Darlington next week.
Darlington,
what are you thinking for Darlington?
I'm just hoping I can get the track before an hour before the race. This is the first time I've had the track. I got the track 2 days early this time just to practice, and it really paid off.
Well, Kansas is one of my favorites. Looks like it might be one of your favorites after tonight. But
Yeah, definitely.
got anybody you want to thank for the run tonight?
I want to thank Artemis Esports. They helped me a lot just in this series, helping me pay for tracks if I need them and stuff like that. So, and all the paint schemes, the great paint schemes. So I really want to say a huge thanks to them.
All right, man. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. Once again, congrats on the third, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was Thomas Dill, third place finisher tonight. We'll get a word with Quinn Newton, second place. Hey, Quinn, it's Lucas. Got me?
I gotcha.
Well, man, had a good run tonight. Seemed like you were sitting pretty good in the pit strategy all night and had a ton of speed there at the end, but really had a good battle with the 53. Unfortunately, Blake kind of drove out on you, but, still second place here tonight. Had a good point stay. And, I mean, what was the race like for you, and how was that battle at the end?
Oh, it wasn't bad. The battle at the end was not wanted, but it was fun. I think I just way overdrove it trying to catch Blake and just saw him driving off, which is typical Blake. But, yeah, hopefully there was a little bit more entertainment for you, though. It was a good race at the end, especially with the lap car there in the very last lap. So, no, car was fast. I feel like a few of us, Blake, Mike, Travis, and I, we had some good speed. So at least one of us got the dub. So no, it was a good race.
Yeah, that good race from the broadcaster's perspective. We asked Thomas this. He said you guys were kind of battling all night, and he said you were getting loose out the corner. Was that kind of your deal all night? What was the tire saving like?
Well, I checked at the end there, and it sounded like I was on par with kind of where Mike and Travis were. But it was. I think I pit that. It was the first or second one where I was down to like 58 on the right front, so it was definitely loose. So I mean, I was getting real loose off those corners. I'm surprised there wasn't more spinouts and cautions, but pretty clean race tonight. Everybody kept it on track for the most part. So especially that wall reaching out and grabbing you. It only grabbed me once, but I started around the bottom just to save a little tire because I was burning it on the bottom too. So yeah, I'm surprised there weren't a few more cautions lower.
Absolutely. We saw several wrecks tonight, and a lot of them just ending up and kind of them saving it and going green. So an interesting Kansas race, definitely not one we've seen this past week in other leagues we've ran. So
yeah,
it's good to see a good clean race, and especially in this series, we've had some caution-filled races, and this one was pretty much the opposite of that. We have 3. So good night for you tonight. Got yourself second place. Got anyone you want to thank for it?
Oh, that LH motor that really powered me to victory tonight. Or well, not victory, but almost powered me to victory. We're almost on par with that BGR engine from last season.
First loser tonight.
First loser. Hey, you know what though? Technically though, with Blake in the race, I'm technically kind of won. So
I mean that's true, and he almost took himself out of it too. So if you really think about it, you almost had the win.
I know it was close. If just Blake wasn't here,
Yeah, that's I think that's what everybody thinks a lot of the time.
It said a lot. It said a lot.
All right, Quinn. Well, thanks for joining us. Congrats on the second, and we're gonna go talk with Blake. See ya.
All right, have fun.
Ready, and finally, get a word with our winner tonight, Blake Giglio in the 16. What's going on, Blake?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going, man? You got the win tonight. You had some adversity to fight through tonight. It definitely wasn't like Richmond. You were battling back from the front and the back and all over the place. And I mean, how was the race for you, man?
Yeah, it sucked. I wrecked myself on like lap 5, I think it was, or somewhere around there. I legit had to turn the car left to go straight. So then it was just all over. And I was, contemplating getting the haul array to go home there because we weren't getting the yellow. So I was getting a little upset. We got a yellow at least. We got the car back in it. And then, it was really fun once the car was fixed. I think the racing was great tonight. You did a great job with the setup. So great job for that.
Thank you.
And yeah, I almost wrecked on the last lap like 4 times. So.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was on purpose. You were like paying homage to you hitting the wall earlier in the race because you got into it after the white flag.
No, I hit it in the same spot, dude. I can't figure it out. I don't know. But at least tonight we don't have any controversy. So good night.
Yeah, it seemed like some good racing out there. Seemed like a good last half of that race for you. But like I did want to ask, it's almost seemed like you were surprised by how it got in the wall. You just kind of came off the corner and it stuck into it. How did that even happen?
We were wheeling and dealing on the top of the racetrack, and we weren't wheeling and dealing, and then we were wrecked. So I really don't know. I haven't even watched it. Really got to go to the bathroom. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now.
All right, Blake. Well, we'll let you out of here, man. Anybody want to thank for the run tonight?
Yeah, shout out to broadcasting, CTC Racing, Ludwig Esports. The BGR motor was cruising again tonight. M9 Performance, Jake Swanson Check Technology, Apex Auto Glass, Labor 12, everyone on the car, and everyone that helps out.
All righty, Blake. Well, enjoy your bathroom break, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks.
All right, that was Blake Giglio. Winner tonight. Results up on screen. Giglio gets the win. Newton second. Thomas Dilk third. Then beyond that, Travis Skrmetta, Davis Grunwald both get fourth and fifth. Top fives for them, respectively. Matt Town going to take home sixth. Mike Christopher in seventh. Jeff Price going to get home in eighth place tonight. Nick Leo going to take ninth. Saw him running up front all night. Same with Jason Tamer behind him in 10th. Those two both ran up front. Just couldn't catch a lucky break with the pit strategies and found themselves in the high top 10s, but, still a good night, still good points tonight. Dave Hoytsma taking home 11th. Andrew Griesbaum going to get 12th tonight. Daniel Llewellyn in 13th, first car lap down. Lucky Carlec going to take home 14th. Cliff Mullins, I think, had an issue on the last lap. He falls down to 15th. Tanner Nowell going to take home 16th. John Nickrich, 17th. Jake Vanosky in 18th. And we finally have the rest of the cars listed on the results. Finally got that fixed, got around to it. Brian Martin going to take home 19th. Nathan Scott in 20th. And Randy Lee in 21st here tonight. And since we're at it, I'm going to go try to see what happened to Cliff Mullins at the end of the race. Looks like after the white flag. See what happened to Cliff. So this is coming to white flag right here. Oh, he gets loose off the corner and spins down into the infield, and I think probably just towed it because he did finish 2 laps down. So the car stops. Looks like right before the start-finish line. Oh, maybe an unsafe entry. Took a lap off. It looks like he just called it a night. So that's what happened to Cliff. Sorry about that, Cliff. Looks like he had a good run tonight, but finished back in 15th. But that's going to do it for me tonight. I'm Lucas Hoytsma. Thanks for joining me next week. Make sure to catch the SRL Tour Modified Series. And then once again, we'll be back here for the CTC Cup Series at Darlington on Wednesday night. Don't miss it. Final race of the regular season. So a lot of people are going to be fighting for those playoff points and hoping to get in that chase. So it's going to be exciting next week. Make sure to be there. Guess we'll see you then.